Hey, gang. Happy Tuesday to everybody. So glad to be here. So we thought we'd jump on and have a little bit of a conversation about a question that I got about starting business over again. It's actually a really interesting question because I think most people would have a different answer as to if you were starting your business over again, what would you do differently, right? What different steps might you take? And this is one of these questions where, for me, it actually became one of the easiest questions I think I could ever answer about our business, right? So, if you've seen the post, Ange and I, we started our business back in 2009, so we've been going for a while, right? We actually got past that first 12 months and the first kind of 3 years and the first 10 years. So we're actually doing okay. But anyway, so I'm having this conversation with a client around the trajectory of their business, right? Where it's going, how fast it's going. But they actually came back at me and says, you know what, James, he goes, there's part of me that just kind of wants to blow this thing up. I want to blow this business up and really start again. And if I was going to start again, I would like to know, like, what's the thing that I should do different to what I've been doing before? And of course, I says, well, that's really a question for you to answer. It's not really a question for me. However, if I were answering that question about my business, if I could go back in time and make one big different decision, it would be this. I would get really, really super clear on who I wanted to serve. And everything that I was going to build, everything I was going to do, all of my marketing would be around that one thing. Now, call it your niche, call it whatever, but here's what I know to be true. Most businesses that are slow or having problems growing, usually, not always, but usually, they're just trying to be everything to everybody, right? They're trying to be a generalist, and certainly in the coaching world, this is specifically true, right? To a lot of coaches who are like, well, I can help them with hiring, I can help people with this, I can help with profit, I can help them with all of these things. And I'm like, but what's the superpower? Right? What's the superpower? Because the fastest way to grow your business, in my opinion, is for you to be a superhero to a niche. You be a superhero to one person, not trying to be a lot of things to a lot of people or everything to everybody. And back in the day and back when we started, that's what we were, right? We started in a franchise. We started with a franchise. And honestly, it was one of these things where we had so much content, we had so much stuff that we could have done a lot of things for a lot of people. And in fact, the direction that we were told to go in was, hey, go out, look for privately held businesses, family owned businesses that are doing more than, 500,000 a year, and help them grow. That's a pretty wide berth to work in, right? Which basically meant a lot of the messaging and a lot of the things that we said, and people just didn't resonate. So let's go back to the beginning. What would we do differently? Okay, I would get hyper specific on what is the one thing that we know that we can do better than anybody else, and then pick an industry that I had some kind of affinity with, and then go work with them. Like, I would just target the bejesus out of those guys. So if your business is hitting a plateau, or if it's stagnant, if it's not growing, the question you've really got to ask yourself is, am I trying to be too many things to too many people? Which is diluting the messaging, it's diluting what I can promise. It means that the language I'm using really isn't resonating with anybody. And there's a bunch of you that are in our private group, our Business Success by Design group, who have access to so much content, right? You guys have got access to so much content that it's easy to think that any kind of business is a business that you can help. And there's truth in that, right? There's a lot of truth in that. Here's the problem. You can't create messaging that's going to resonate with every kind of business. Your messaging has to resonate with a specific individual, right? So what we teach with our clients is, imagine that you are having to message and resonate with just one person. What would you say? Right? What would you say? For you to create the level of empathy with a prospect, you can't do that over 100 different business types. Even though a lot of the problems they have are the same, the way that the individual exhibits and takes in those problems and deals with those problems, guys, is all very different. It's all very different. So for us, certainly for me, I would be like, no, I'm not going after business. That there is too broad a term. Private businesses, family owned, doing over 500,000 a year. That's not going to work. What I want to do is to go, we are going to help chiropractors with who have at least 3 locations, scale to 10 locations in the next 2 years. That's what we're going to do. Right? That now I'm getting hyper specific. And I would focus all my energy on that niche, on that particular type of business. So yeah. So my thing is this is, take a look at who you're working with. Take a look at the types of businesses that you really like working with. And make an effort to start focusing your messaging around that type of business, right? Be a superhero to one type of business. Don't try and be a lot of things to a lot of people or everything to everyone. Guys, it's just never going to work. And I can tell you, we probably burned up 4, maybe 5 years of our life and business trying to be too many things to too many people. Did we make money? Yeah. Was it really hard? Absolutely. Absolutely. And when we left the franchise and we went and did our own thing, and we got the help from a really cool dude who was the one that went, guys, you got to pick a thing, right? Like, you're trying to do too much stuff. You pick a thing, and that thing becomes your North Star. That thing is what you focus on. Whether it's what you deliver, whether it's an industry type, or whether it's both. And if it's both, you're on to a winner. An industry type with a big problem that you can solve is how you're going to start growing your business faster. Now, is there nuances to this? Absolutely. Absolutely, there's nuances. But the difference it makes to how you communicate with the outside world and how they're going to take that message in is a complete game changer. So I'm going to say this to all of you guys that are out there who are in the coaching world specifically, but it applies to every type of business, right? When you're looking at your clients, you're looking at your deliverables. But to coaches specifically, get hyper clear on what you're going to deliver and who you're going to deliver it to. Stop looking across multiple business types, doing 100 different things, teaching them 100 different strategies. That shit don't fly. And that's probably why you're having a tough time. So the easiest question to answer for me is, what would I do differently? That is it. Here's what I'd like to know for you guys that are watching this either live or on a replay is, if you were doing it again, starting again, and I'm going to assume let's assume you've been in business for more than like half a second, right? But if you're starting again, what things would you do differently in your business if you were starting over? And bear in mind, it is never too late to start over, ever. All right. So you go, guys. That was it. Short and sweet, but I want to jump in and just kind of share that with you. I thought it was interesting. So yeah, any questions, drop them in Facebook. You know how to get me. And hey, go and get some clients. All right, dudes. Talk to you soon. Bye.